100 in his career.
History made yesterday at T-Mobile Park. Julio Rodriguez launching his 100th career homer and swiping his 21st bag, becoming the first player ever with 20 homers and 20 steals in each of his first 4 seasons. Mariners edging Texas 5-4. They take the series. They have the day off today. And on the water, PWR Racing's Andrew Tate claimed Seafair's Apollo Mechanical Cup in the U-91 boat. It's his second win of the season, keeps the rookie team undefeated so far this season.
Miss, your burger is served.
Thank you.
And if I may suggest a pairing, this is our finest Pepsi Zero Sugar. The sweetness of Pepsi perfectly balances the savory notes of your burger, while the citrus and carbonation elevates the taste for a truly stunning flavor profile. Bon appetit.
Now that is one perfect combination. If this is how the other half lives, I could get used to this. Burgers deserve Pepsi.
Coming up this afternoon on the Todd Ortloff Show, Field Hall Steve Rader Ginsburg joins me to preview a packed August lineup of music, dance, and drama. Then David Brownell from the North Olympic History Center brings some local stories to life.
Join us at 1 o'clock Monday through Thursday for the Todd Ortloff Show on KONP. Information to keep you engaged in your community with the people and organizations who keep it running. Sponsored by Dan Shappy Farmers Insurance.
Newsradio KONP Business.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Beef is in short supply due to dwindling herds, but that has not prevented meatpacker Tyson Food from giving a stronger outlook. It's hoping to rebuild the cattle herd in earnest next year, and in the meantime, its booming chicken business is lifting its bottom line. With renewed White House scrutiny, many large companies are limiting or reframing their statements regarding diversity initiatives. A study by the Conference Board discovered 53% of the S&P 100 had adjusted their DEI messaging in their filings. The use of the term DEI declined 68% from last year, and mentions of pay equity were also down 30%. Some big colleges and universities may be seeing funding cuts by the Trump administration, but overall, college endowments are posting returns of 11.5% for the year. That's their best performance since 2021. Stocks today are up between 1.1 and 1.7%. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
Let's check the traffic next, brought to you by Angela's Furniture and by Olympic Medical Center.
It's summertime, and you know what that means. At Angela's Furniture, they want you to relax right into some very comfortable savings, all brought to you courtesy of Stressless by Eckerness. Through August 4th, get comfy in your new Stressless seating. Receive $100 off every $1,000 spent on qualified Stressless seating. Check out some of our most popular pieces, like the Stressless Stella with wood arm in select leather colors. Talk to the Stressless experts today, only at Angela's Furniture.
When you need surgery, timing is everything. At Olympic Medical Center, our skilled general surgery team is here for you 24 hours a day, ensuring you get the care you need. From planned procedures like hernia repairs to emergencies like appendectomies and even full trauma care, we're ready. Meet our dedicated local team and learn more about our comprehensive services at olympicmedical.org/general surgery.
Newsradio KONP. Traffic and roads.
All right, here's the latest on our traffic around the region in and around Port Angeles. Most city streets moving just fine right now. And an earlier incident near Race Street, it has been cleared, an accident there at First and Race. And 8th Street is clear and flowing smoothly across the city as well. Highway 101, smooth sailing all the way from Forks through Port Angeles and onto Sequim. Forks to Lake Crescent, a little light traffic, maybe a slight delay of about a minute there, but that's about it. Elwha River Bridge to Port Angeles moving well. Construction is still going on near Port Angeles, where crews are we have that alternating one-way traffic there on 101 coming into Port Angeles near Tumwater truck route. Aside from that, no other problems. Everything else is going pretty smoothly. 112 all the way out to Clown Bay, Nia Bay, no problems there. And we'll keep an eye on things for you as we go through the rest of this noon hour here on KONP. Weather-wise, you can expect mostly sunny skies the rest of the day today, mid-60s, maybe touching 70 this afternoon. But then we're in for a change. Clouding up tonight, going to be cloudy with some rain at times Tuesday night, Wednesday, and Wednesday night into Thursday as well. And a little bit cooler, too, with your highs only in the mid-60s. Right now in Port Townsend, 61, 66 now in Sequim, and it's 64 degrees out at Fairchild Airport here in Port Angeles.
ABC Entertainment News.
After taking in $118 million domestically in its opening weekend,
we are going to find a solution. We are going to make it right.
The Fantastic Four First Steps staying in the top spot for a second weekend with $40 million.
Aren't you a notorious criminal?
The animated heist movie Bad Guys 2 brought in $22 million in its debut weekend, and the Naked Gun revival starring Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson earned $17 million to round out the top 3 movies.
We can choose to embrace a new chapter.
And just like that, the Sex and the City sequel is coming to an end. Showrunner Michael Patrick King announcing in social media the series will end after its 3rd season. Dua Lipa is now an official citizen of Kosovo. The honor awarded to her by Kosovo's president in a ceremony last week. And happy birthday to Billy Bob Thornton. The actor, filmmaker, songwriter is 70 today. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
A few years ago, I noticed something interesting with my 3 girls and their friends, and now I've got some research to explain what was happening. According to a new study out of UC Irvine, nearly 40% of teens delayed getting their driver's license by 1 to 2 years, and 30% delayed by more than 2 years. I think I speak for a lot of people my age when I wonder, what's going on here? Keep in mind the world is a different place. Teens can easily hop in a rideshare. They're doing more extracurriculars because the college application process has gotten more competitive, so they have less free time. And they can socialize with their friends online, so they don't need to leave the house. Still, if you can get them interested, I believe learning to drive teaches teens some really important skills they're going to need in life: independence, time management, and focusing their attention. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
DQ presents The Sound of Happy. Hear that? That's the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Only $7.49 for a limited time. We're talking 4 100% white meat seasoned chicken strips served with fries, Texas toast, and DQ signature country gravy. Yeah, you heard that right. For crunch time and no time, it can only be the DQ Chicken Strip Basket. Just $7.49 for a limited time. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy tastes good at participating locations.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Hello, I'm Jerry Stewart, and this is One Moment in America. Courage is certainly something we need plenty of today in our America. But where does courage come from? I'll tell you after this important message. Hello, I'm Jerry Stewart. It's been over 20 years now since I started doing my radio programs. How did I get the idea to start it? 2 reasons. First, to remind us all where we've come from and our duty to make our great America even greater. My second reason, some in our nation today are trying hard to rewrite history with lies and half-truths, and that's wrong. Want to hear 70 of my favorite true stories on one CD? Call me now at 817-995-4607 and place your order. Or you can go online at www.jerrystewartusa.com. And the cost? Just $19.95 plus $6 shipping and handling, a total of $25.95. Place your order now, and I'll include with it my book, Saving America, at no additional charge. So call now at 817-995-4607 or go online at www.jerrystewartusa.com. Give us a call. Until then, tell the truth. God bless you. As we look at our nation's history and our great success as a country, there are many pieces to our success formula. But one huge reason for America's success is found inside this word courage. Those before us have shown great courage, and we desperately need courage in America today. But where does courage come from? Listen carefully. Don't miss this one. Courage comes from encouragement. It is spoken into us by others. They encourage us, and we find the courage to be courageous. So how do those around you find more courage? It's up to you. If you want to help others to be more courageous, encourage them and do it today. I'm Jerry Stewart, and that was One Moment in America.
It's no secret that August is the nicest month of the year on the Olympic Peninsula. This is Dale from Wilder Auto, and it's also no secret that it's a great month to go car shopping. When you combine our closeout specials with great weather, the Wilder Advantage, tons of great finance options, and some of the best brands on the planet, well, why would you go anywhere else? We'd love a chance to earn your business, so stop by and check us out at 24/7 at wilderauto.com.
Don't miss Unity of Effort, Saturday, August 9th. One of the biggest and best events on the peninsula. Unity of Effort is a free community celebration honoring those who protect our way of life. Presented by Security Services Northwest.
Hello, this is Joe D'Amico from Security Services Northwest. My team and I are excited to invite you and your family to this year's Unity of Effort. We're proud to create this annual event to honor our first responders who protect our way of life.
Unity of Effort features delicious food and amazing live performances throughout the day by 5 bands, including legendary 90s rock band Firehouse. Firehouse has been rocking all over the world and has produced gold, platinum, and multi-platinum records, selling over 7 million records worldwide. Catch them live Saturday, August 9th during the Unity of Effort event at Security Services Northwest Headquarters and Squim. Go to unityofeffort.org.
If you've missed the Kim Komando Show, you've missed a lot.
Unbelievable price. I did order something from them, but now I'm afraid they've got my information. I'm sure it's Chinese-based, and I'm worried.
You're getting low prices. In return, it's also collecting a lot of your data that's going to be shared with Communist China. That's just the way it is.
America's digital goddess. Kim Komando.
The Kim Komando Show. Saturdays from 9 to noon on KONP.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Texas Democrats have left the state to prevent the state house from voting on new congressional maps that could give Republicans several seats in the 2026 midterms. Correspondent Ken Lorman.
The move could expose Democrats to fines and other penalties. It's an effort to stop Republicans from redrawing the congressional map. Republican Governor Greg Abbott called a special session of the legislature that started last month to take up the redistricting effort that the president has urged.
Governor Abbott warning Democrats he will seek to remove them from office if they're not back when the House reconvenes this afternoon. The governor setting a deadline for 3 p.m. local time for the Democrats to be in the State House. Several thousand workers at 3 Midwest manufacturing plants where Boeing develops military aircraft and weapons are on strike. Started early today at the Boeing facilities in St. Louis, St. Charles, Missouri, and Mascoutah, Illinois, after about 3,200 local members of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers voted to reject a labor agreement. It included a 20% wage increase over 4 years and a $5,000 ratification bonus. Also at townhall.com, President Trump announcing a new head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics this week.
Unhappy with the recent jobs numbers, the president fired the BLS commissioner last week, and he told reporters he'll name a replacement soon.
We'll be announcing a new statistician sometime over the next 3-4 days. We had no confidence. I mean, the numbers were ridiculous, what she announced.
The president accused the former jobs statistician of faking jobs numbers, calling it a scam without providing any evidence. Greg Clugston, Washington.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword Mike Rowe to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
South Korea's new leader seems to be taking a more conciliatory approach to North Korea, ordering the dismantling of propaganda loudspeakers stationed along the border.
These loudspeakers were used by the previous government here in Seoul to blast anti-North Korean propaganda and South Korean pop music into the country for residents living along the border to hear. The broadcasts antagonize the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, who tightly controls his people's access to outside information. But South Korea's new president, Lee Jae-myung, is hoping to restart dialogue with the North, which stalled back in 2019. He turned the speakers off after entering office in June and is now removing them altogether. Last week, the North acknowledged his goodwill gesture, but said it still had no interest in talking to him.
The BBC's Gene McKenzie with that update. Breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. A new poll about how Democrats and Republicans feel about their own parties.
About 15% of Democrats surveyed by the Associated Press and the Nork Center for Public Affairs Research describe their party as weak, and another 10% say the Democratic Party is disorganized. Democrats and Republicans were asked in July to share the first word or phrase that came to mind when they thought of their own party. Overall, people held a dim view of both parties, with 43% viewing the Republican Party negatively compared to 39% seeing the Democratic Party negatively. But Republicans were about twice as likely as Democrats to describe their own party positively, with 4 in 10 Republicans using words like patriotic or hardworking. Donna Warder, Washington.
And the NCAA deciding not to expand the men's and women's basketball tournaments beyond 68 teams in 2026. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is the Newsradio KONP Noon Report.
Todd Ortloff in the KONP News Center. Here's a look at what's happening on this Monday, August 4th. We start with a look back at the past weekend and Sandy Key's weekend wrap-up.
A generally dull weekend weather-wise did not dampen the frantic pace of a wide variety of fun and harmless activities. Still, some were able to pause in their pursuit of fun and harmless activities for a moment of thievery. We know of 7 thefts, 1 each in Forks and Sequim, but 5 in Port Angeles, where we do have a broader selection from which to choose. Weekend harassments were way down to 1 in West Side Port Angeles and 1 in Sequim. No domestic violence is reported, but 2 persons in Port Angeles complained of assaults on Front Street. Others had been assaulted at Lower Deer Park Road, plus along Highway 101 Port Angeles and Highway 101 Sequim. 3 suicide attempts or threats were quickly responded to at Gassman Road Friday, Whidbey Avenue, and a Sequim address Saturday. 10 disturbances, a low number, came to police attention and police action, and fire departments responded to burn complaints and suspicious smokes at Melody Lane, Glass Road, and Atterbury Road, among others. We appear to have had at least 8 traffic accidents as of 4:30 yesterday morning. Among them were crashes at the dreaded Kitchen Dick Road and Old Olympic Highway intersection, 7:13 Friday morning. That in spite of stop signs there, surrounded by vigorously flashing red lights. 5 minutes later, there was a crash at Sequim's 3rd Avenue South and 101. And 6 hours after that, Sequim had a crash at Kays Road. Port Angeles crashes included one at Highway 101 and Freshwater Bay Road. There were 2 accidents in or near Forks, and you might run off the road when you see in the trees this year's start of tent caterpillar season. Do everything you can immediately to be rid of them, except by fire. Using fire risks starting an uncontrolled grass, brush, or forest fire, and the complete cost of extinguishing that blaze will be on you, very likely wiping you out totally financially. Sandy Key's KONP Local News.
Sail away to Victoria, BC with Black Ball Ferry Line this summer. A perfect blend of local culture, natural beauty, and world-class attractions. Enjoy savings on hotel and ferry packages from only $139 per person based on double occupancy. Plus add on popular attractions like the Butchert Gardens, afternoon tea, and so much more. Embark on your next adventure with Black Ball Ferry Line. Visit cohoferry.com today.
The cabinetry in your home should keep you organized while fitting your space, your style, and your budget. At Hartnagel Building Supply, we make sure it does that and more. We're the only local company that sells and installs cabinetry, so you're supported from start to finish and beyond. Our installer isn't some outside contractor. He's an actual employee owner with over 30 years of experience who works with our designer to ensure a perfect installation. And it all starts with a free design consultation, an in-home measure, and digital 3D renderings, so you know exactly what you're getting before you order. With multiple options of cabinetry brands, countertops, and organizing solutions, we match you with the best fit. And it's not just kitchens and baths. Think mudrooms, garages, laundry rooms, bars, and more. Visit lumbertraders.com for more info, and as always, we deeply appreciate you for shopping local and employee-owned.
In other news, Peninsula College will launch a Bachelor of Applied Science in Teacher Education program this fall. It's to address a growing need for K-8 educators in the region. The new program provides a direct path to Washington State teacher certification and features an evening and hybrid class design for students balancing work and family. It combines academic coursework with in-classroom experience starting in the first year. College President Susie Ames says the program will help students remain here in the community while serving local schools. The curriculum emphasizes trauma-informed and culturally responsive teaching. Students will work closely with mentors and gradually take on more classroom responsibilities. The program features small class size, no current wait list, and a flexible Tuesday-Thursday evening schedule. Applications are open year-round and financial aid is available. Major roadway construction now complete on the new bridge over Johnson Creek near Sequim. Travelers on Highway 101 enjoying a smooth ride now as crews have completed paving and put down temporary markings. This is among the final touches on the 185-foot-long bridge over Johnson Creek. White Feather Way has reopened at its intersection with 101, and people can now access the John Wayne Marina or the Olympic Discovery Trail parking lot from that intersection. The local road was closed for several months during the bridge construction. Now, travelers can still expect occasional lane closures there as crews finish some smaller items, such as permanent striping and guardrails. Habitat restoration in the creeks under the highway will continue through the fall. Port Angeles water customers should note that the Jones Street Reservoir Valve Replacement Project is underway and progressing, but the project schedule has been pushed back slightly to accommodate for some necessary field revisions. That means the ongoing period of citywide reduced water pressure is going to need to continue through the early part of this week. City officials said on Friday the 2 million-gallon reservoir is expected to begin being brought back into service by early this week in the next few days. As that reservoir slowly refills, residents should experience gradual increases in water pressure as the week progresses. Full restoration of water pressure and fire flow is expected by the end of Friday, if not sooner, according to city officials. The Bear Gulch fire near Mount Rose has grown to almost 5,000 acres and only 3% containment as of this morning, according to fire officials. The human-caused wildfire, which began July 6th, is burning in steep, rugged terrain, making containment efforts challenging. Increased humidity has slowed its spread, but crews remain active around the clock trying to protect structures and critical resources. The fire has crossed Copper Creek, and firefighters are using sprinklers and clearing flammable material near cabins there. On the southern shore of Lake Cushman, remote areas are being accessed by boat to protect timber and power infrastructure. Officials say the fire will likely continue burning in wilderness areas until fall rains arrive. Evacuation orders are still in place, including a Level 3 go order for the area around the Dry Creek Trail there and the Staircase Campground. Lake Cushman is also closed to the public, and all outdoor burning has been banned in Mason County. Meantime, the Forest Service is asking for the public's help in an investigation regarding how that fire got started. It occurred the evening of Sunday, July 6th at Lake Cushman along Forest Service Road 24. The cause is currently under investigation by Forest Service law enforcement and investigations, and officials are asking anyone who might have been in the area on July 6th to share any information that might help in the inquiry. Members of the public with information are encouraged to contact the Forest Service tip line. You can do that by phone at 541-618-2124 or via email. All of that is on the Forest Service's website. And a small brush fire and power outage in Ashcroft, British Columbia was caused not by weather or human activity, but by a fish. According to Ashcroft Fire Rescue, an osprey dropped its catch mid-flight last Wednesday. The fish hit a power line. The resulting sparks ignited dry grass, sparking a fire that burned about an acre. The nearest river, likely where the fish was caught, about 2 miles from the site. Firefighters, with help from ranchers and BC Hydro employees, quickly contained the blaze. Authorities believe the bird may have been overheated and exhausted when it dropped the fish. Firefighters say the osprey was uninjured and remains at large. The fish, however, well, it didn't survive. This is Newsradio KONP.
Selling your home? You need more than just a yard sign. You need Mike Fuller at Blue Sky Realty. Mike offers a lifetime knowledge of this area and will provide you a free market analysis of your home with critical data when selling your home. Call Mike Fuller for your free market analysis and make your next move a smart one. Call 360-477-9189 or go to blueskyrealty.com. Blue Sky Realty, your hometown professional.
Hi everyone, it's Leslie Robertson from the Port Angeles Chamber, and I want to tell you about a great opportunity to support our local area. Would you like to meet people from all over the world? Do you like the chance to brag about this beautiful place we live? The Port Angeles Visitor Center is looking for volunteers to help people seeking advice, information, and recommendations when they come to visit our delightful town. Visitor Center shifts are short, the schedule is easy, and very flexible. Whether you want a regular day or you'd like to fill in as needed, we will make it work for you. Knowledge about the area is a plus, but don't worry, we'll train you. It's a great chance to meet new people, make new friends, and get to know the great group of volunteers we already have working at the Visitor Center. You'll be glad you did. If you're interested, email info@portangeles.org or call the Visitor Center at 360-452-2363. Or you can find more information on our website, portangeles.org.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 65. Northwest winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected tonight, lows dip down to about 52. Cloudy skies expected tomorrow, chance for rain, daytime highs approaching 62. Temperatures a bit below average Wednesday and Thursday, with highs in the mid-60s. Showers possible both days. A peek at the extended shows, 67 Friday, 70 Saturday, and 72 on Sunday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently 64.
Baseball Sunday, the Phillies shut out the Tigers 2-0 last night to take 2 out of 3 in what could be a World Series preview. Christopher Sanchez went 8 innings, with Yohan Duran working a 3-up, 3-down ninth for his second save since coming over at the trade deadline. Red Sox ripped the Astros 6-1 for their 5th straight win. Marlins completed their first ever sweep of the Yankees 7-4. Manager Clayton McCullough.
Really great series for our team, and I think, in some ways 3 different kind of games.
Miami has won 5 in a row. Brewers barreled over the Nationals 14-3, handing D.C. its 5th consecutive loss. Bryce Terang with a brace of 2-run dingers. Royals scored 5 times in the 10th to bounce the Blue Jays 7-4. After being held scoreless in the first 2 games in Tampa, the Dodgers paid back the Rays 3-0. Yoshinobu Yamamoto and the Shogunate scattered 7 hits. Mariners nipped the Rangers 5-4. Julio Rodriguez went deep to give him 4 straight 20-homer, 20-steal seasons, the first guy to start a career that way. Pirates buried the Rockies 9-5. Spencer Horwitz with 2 taters and 6 ribs. Cubs got a walk-off pinch hit 2-run homer from Justin Turner to beat the Orioles 5-3.
Pretty surreal. You're running around the bases, not really hearing anything, kind of blacked out. It's a really good feeling to help this team win a ball game.
Taylor Ward's 3-run shot in the bottom of the ninth boosted the Angels past the White Sox 8-5. Giants jacked up the Mets. Twins held off the Guardians. Padres popped the Cardinals. Diamondbacks got by the A's. And the Braves took the checkered flag over the Reds 4-2 in the Speedway Classic in Bristol, Tennessee. Delayed from Saturday by rain, Eli White had a 3-run homer and a solo shot. And in golf, after 7 second-place finishes, Cameron Young finally grabbed the brass ring on Sunday, winning the Wyndham Championship by 6 strokes and tying the tournament record at 22 under par. That's Monday Sports.
Hi, this is John Holm, president of Tri-State Roofing, your local and family-owned company covering the entire Olympic Peninsula area. The difference with Tri-State Roofing is we separate ourselves with the quality of products we offer, customer service, including an A+ rating with the BBB, safety plans, and the best labor guarantees around. We specialize in American-made products, and we carry and sell roofs, windows, siding, and patio covers. At Tri-State Roofing, we've got you covered. For a limited time, save up to 15% off your next project or free gutters. Call 360-208-2222. Financing is available. Please call to schedule an appointment. We're located right here in Sequim, Washington. Call 360-208-2222. Thank you.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered.
Newsradio KONP Business.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Investors are buying the dip today, with stocks now up between 1.2 and 1.7%. Tech stocks are leading the gains. But Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway is seeing shares drop today after the conglomerate revealed a $3.8 billion impairment charge related to its investment in Kraft Heinz. It's a rare disappointment for the Oracle of Omaha. Kraft Heinz is behind household names like Kraft macaroni and cheese, but inflation and a shift away from packaged foods have taken a toll on the firm, with its stock down more than 10% this year. A big payday could soon be coming for Elon Musk. Tesla has approved an interim stock award worth about $30 billion for the automaker's CEO. The new agreement includes 96 million Tesla shares that would vest if Musk continues to serve in the top post for another 2 years. The board says it's a good faith payment to keep Musk in charge. I'm Nancy Lyons, Bloomberg Radio.
We'll check the traffic next, brought to you by McCrory Carpet One and by Leeds Farm Supply.
Buying locally doesn't always mean paying more. At McCrory Carpet One, they're a part of a cooperative that bands together over 1,000 family businesses just like them to form the largest floor buying group in America. Together, they buy over $7 billion in flooring. That means not only do you get the best prices and quality installation, but you help support local jobs and families. For over 60 years, always priced right, always done right. McCrory Carpet One.
Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales has huge savings all month long. Buy any brand new tractor and get a free implement worth up to $1,000. Pick any trailer 2025 or older, and Leeds will cover your tax and licensing. Warm up with clean, burn wood pellets at $5 a bag and home fire logs for just $1 each. Save on fencing, hydraulic fluid, even Montana Silversmith jewelry and Montana West bags. Up to 35% off. It's all happening this month at Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales.
Newsradio KONP. Traffic and roads.
All right, let's take a look at the road conditions around the area in and around Port Angeles. City streets all moving pretty well right now this noon hour. Highway 101 forks through Port Angeles onto Sequim. A little light delay at Lake Crescent on 101. Everywhere from Lake Crescent to the Elwha Bridge clear and flowing smoothly, and from the bridge into Port Angeles moving well. Construction is ongoing near Port Angeles. Crews are out working in that one construction area on 101 still with alternating traffic. That's going to tie you up just a little bit heading into town. All other routes are doing just fine. Joyce out to Clallam Bay is all just fine as well. And no other problems to tell you about at this point. No problems on the Hood Canal Bridge, and ferries in Seattle are running on time. Weather forecast calling for things to change. Yeah, by tonight we roll some more clouds in. We'll have some clouds and rain Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday as well. Friday, though, we get back to sunshine. Will be sunny for the weekend coming up and back into the mid-70s. Right now, we have 62 in Port Townsend, 66 in Sequim. It's 63 out at Fairchild Airport here in Port Angeles. Well, a study published by the JAMA Network shows the time teens and preteens spend on their phones during school hours and how much time is lost because of it. Researchers looked at 11,000 students across the U.S. ABC's Michelle Franson has more.
The new study shows some students ages 10 to 17 lose nearly an hour each day of school time due to cell phone usage. The study, published in JAMA, found smartphone use highly focused on social media apps like TikTok and Instagram. Many school districts across the country have approved or are considering policies that limit the use of cell phone use for students during school hours. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Well, let's take a look at how the box office shaped up this past weekend. ABC's Wayne Cabot with the report.
The Fantastic Four.
After taking in $118 million domestically in its opening weekend, the Fantastic Four First Steps staying in the top spot for a second weekend with $40 million.
Aren't you a notorious criminal?
The animated heist movie Bad Guys 2 brought in $22 million in its debut weekend. And the Naked Gun revival, starring Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson, earned $17 million.
Superman.
Miss Lane. Superman rounded out the top four, earning just under $14 million in its fourth weekend.
Lonnie Anderson, best known for her role on the radio station sitcom WKRP in Cincinnati, has died. She was 79. Her publicist said she died Sunday in Los Angeles after an acute but prolonged illness. Anderson got 2 Emmy nominations and 3 Golden Globe nominations for her role as the sexy and smart receptionist on that 1970s, early 80s hit comedy. Here's ABC's Allison Cossack with more.
Looking back on her career, Anderson said she hoped she would be remembered for changing the look of a young woman with a career.
Beauty is not something that's hard to come by in this city. So if they were looking for the most beautiful girl in the town, I wouldn't be it. So I had to fall back on my talent. And my looks could help me get in the door, but they won't help you stay there.
Anderson was married 4 times and had a daughter and son. She died after a prolonged illness days before her 80th birthday.
Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me, I'm living on the air in Cincinnati.
In 1993, the internet really took off. That was the year of Mosaic, the first graphical web browser, and websites began appearing by tens of thousands. Clinton was in the White House, the Democrats had control of the Congress, and many were calling for strict government control of the web. So what does that have to do with us today? I'm Kim Commando for Oracle. In business, you can have better, cheaper, and faster with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Try OCI for free at oracle.com/Kim. Despite enormous pressure from both inside America and from foreign countries to control the new fledgling internet, Clinton and Congress held back, and the internet exploded with growth and revenue. Flash forward to now. Despite global demands to chain AI to restrictive and burdensome laws, Trump and Congress are taking a page from 32 years ago. Hands off AI regulation. Let the data centers be built. Let AI have its chance, just as we did with the internet. It's more important than ever for you to always be tech ahead. Be sure you get my newsletter at getkim.com. In business, they say you can have better, cheaper, or faster, but you only get to pick 2. But what if you could have all 3 at the same time? That's exactly what some of the world's most innovative brands and AI tech companies have since they've upgraded to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. OCI is the blazing fast platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs, where you can run any workload in a high availability, consistently high performance environment and spend less than you would with other clouds. So how is it faster? OCI's block storage gives you more operations per second. Cheaper? OCI costs up to 50% less for computing, 70% less for storage, and 8% less for networking. Better? And test after test, OCI customers report lower latency and higher bandwidth versus other clouds. This is the cloud built for AI and all your biggest workloads. Right now, with zero commitment, try OCI for free. Head to oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim.
I'm John Tesh, and coming up, a proven antidote for stress is what experts call grit, or mental toughness. So I'm going to share strategies for building your mental toughness next in today's Intelligence for Your Life Minute.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
So having the ability to survive tough times, overcome setbacks, and rise above failure requires this: sheer mental toughness. Amen to that. So here's some strategies for building your own mental toughness. First, you have to always know your personal why. It's your reason for rolling out of bed every day. As long as you have a reason for doing something, it's going to be much easier to convince your brain to keep going, no matter how difficult the challenge. And then never wait for the perfect time to start tackling a challenge. Because according to career coach James Clear, perfect times do not exist. It's why Clear recommends committing to a schedule where you work on projects at specific times each day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. That's what I do. That way you're always making some progress and experiencing a sense of accomplishment, which is key to building more confidence and mental toughness. I'm John Tesh with today's Intelligence for Your Life Minute.
Your community-minded friends at First Fed bring you the Community Corner, highlighting good things happening right here in our area.
Clallam County Project Safer is happening. Opening day of the Clallam County Fair, August 14th. Project Safer stands for Special Assistance for Emergency Responses and strives to improve encounters between the community and our first responders. When you and your family register for this free event, you and your entire group will receive free fair entry tickets, good for opening day, August 14th. Go to clallamcountywa.gov/Project Safer and register today. Project Safer is a free event August 14th to support first responders and assist Clallam County residents who experience intellectual and developmental disabilities, their family members, and care providers. You'll receive resources, education, and engaging interactions with first responders.
Community Corner, presented by First Fed.
Thank you for 80 incredible years. This is News Radio KONP Port Angeles Squim, a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. At the Texas Capitol, a showdown this hour. House lawmakers set to reconvene to vote on a Republican effort to redraw congressional maps, with the GOP gaining 5 seats ahead of the midterms. But most state Democrats have fled to other Democratic-led states, including Illinois, Massachusetts, and New York. In Albany, Texas State Representative Michaela Plesha accused Republicans of gerrymandering.
The fight isn't just about lines on a map. It's about lives on the line. That's why we're here. That's why we're fighting. It's about democracy.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott ordering state Democrats back or face fines. The tariffs on foreign goods outlined by President Trump go into effect this week. That as trade talks continue with key countries, including China and India. India is facing 25% hikes, now responding, calling them unjustified. President Trump says he issued the steep tariffs because of India's relationship to Russia and importing Russia's oil. ABC's Alex Perchet has more.
India's response here, it's a pretty detailed 6-point response where they say that they began essentially importing oil from Russia because they say that supplies had been diverted to other trading partners, including the European Union.
Israeli Prime Minister says he plans to reconvene his cabinet this week and prepare military plans to defeat Hamas and free the remaining hostages in Gaza. It comes as aid groups warn of mass starvation in Gaza and Hamas's release of a video appearing to show one of the hostages emaciated.
They have long believed that the best and only way to return their loved ones is through a negotiated deal. And you consider this, that since October 7th, out of the 150 hostages who have been returned alive, only 8 have been rescued during a military rescue operation.
ABC's Marcus Moore. You're listening to ABC News.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
In Los Angeles, 2 people were killed, 6 others injured after a mass shooting at an unofficial after-party for a music festival. The motive, not clear.
At around 11 o'clock Sunday night, the LAPD says officers shut down an unauthorized party at a warehouse. But a few hours later, shots were fired there. When officers returned, 8 people had been hit by gunfire. This man says his son was killed.
Good gentleman. Very respectful gentleman.
A motive for the shooting is not yet clear. The injured victims range in age from 26 to 62 years old. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Smoke continues to come in from the Canada wildfires and hovering over Midwest states. That's creating some poor air quality.
Heavy smoke from more than 700 wildfires burning in Canada is still drifting south. No orange Mars-like skies, but it will be hazy and milky from Green Bay to Detroit and from New York City up to Boston. Detroit and Chicago started the week out on the top 10 list of worst air quality of all major cities in the world. Last week, Chicago ranked number 1. If you're under such an alert, limit your time exerting yourself outside, experts say, and keep your windows closed.
ABC's Sherry Preston. In Central California, a wildfire has exploded since Friday. The Gifford Fire, situated within the Los Padres National Forest in Solvang, but it's impacting those within Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties. It's charred more than 65,000 acres, with some being evacuated. I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Your enjoyment starts now with all the colors of the season at everyone's favorite haven, Airport Garden Center. Airport Garden Center opened for business in 1977 as a pet, plant, and feed store by Eldora and Floyd Matthews. The family-run operations continue as Betsy and Mark Matthews lovingly run the business to this day. Their family provides your family quality service and products for a fun pet and child-friendly shopping atmosphere. Looking for a special, unique gift? Airport Garden Center is proud to support locally sourced items like Full Moon Candles and Pacific Rain Shadow Farms handcrafted soap and Miss B Apiary Honey. And we love helping you plan each season by offering monthly special savings. Go to airportgarden.biz for current specials or just stop on by the store on Edgewood Drive. Airport Garden Center, planting knowledge, growing gardeners since 1977.
KONP News brought to you by RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. 457-6600. Peninsula College is launching a new local Bachelor of Applied Science in Teacher Education program this fall. They say to meet growing need for K-8 teachers in the region. It offers a direct path to state certification using hybrid evening courses, hands-on classroom training from year 1, and there's no wait list. PC's president, Susie Ames, says it'll help local students stay and serve in their communities as they move on in their careers. Drivers on Highway 101 near Sequim will notice smoother travel. Construction on the Johnson Creek Bridge is just about wrapped up, and White Feather Way has reopened after being closed for several months.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by Olympic Game Farm. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 65. Winds out of the northwest, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected tonight, lows dip down to about 52. Chance for rain tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 62, cloudy skies expected. Temperatures a bit below average Wednesday and Thursday, with highs in the mid-60s. Scattered showers possible both days. Taking a look at the extended forecast, 67 Friday, 70 Saturday, and 72 on Sunday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 65 degrees.
It's the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP. Now, here's Todd.
All right, welcome to the program. And today we're going to spend the first segment, as we do about once a month, talking with Steve Rader Ginsburg. He is the executive director at the Field Arts and Events Hall, and we have him in to talk about upcoming things. And we're kind of moving into the a busy fall, I guess might be a good way to put it, but there's still a few things coming up here in the next month that we want to highlight. Steve, it's great to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for inviting me back, Todd.
As always. So let's just dive right in.
Yeah.
You've got some things happening even this week, and I know we're going to focus a bit on Shakespeare because, well, I guess you have a little bit of a personal connection on that one.
Well, I would love to talk about that. It's what I've been working on for the past couple weeks, and this week we have cast, and this is the first time that Field Arts and Events Hall is producing its own work.
Okay.
We are a presenting theater. We've brought in great acts in the past. This time we're seeing what happens if we make our own show. So we're doing it to perform in the Sunset Lounge, and that's where the name Shakespeare at Sunset comes in. But if you also want to come for brunch and see it on a Sunday afternoon, it's the same show, and it's Shakespeare at Brunch. So we've cast 5 local actors, and this is in partnership with Key City Public Theater out of Port Townsend. So there are 2 Port Townsend actors, 3 Port Angeles actors, and we have a musical director from Squim, Linda Dowdell, who's a terrific musician.
Yep.
So she's writing and composing some new music, and she's also doing a number of songs because this is actually a Shakespeare cabaret. So we are doing Shakespeare scenes and monologues with a whole bunch of songs and music.
And it's a dinner theater, as you mentioned, right?
Yes.
So you're going to eat and be wined and dined.
putting your meal request in. You can get a pre-selected meal when you get your ticket, or order a la carte when you get there. But this is eating and drinking and being entertained the whole time. And our point of doing this was that Shakespeare has some really fun, summer energy, good jokes, and also we are bringing in some serious monologues just to counterpoint some things, but this is a way in which we can be in the same room in an elevated experience with the great view, and we'll deliver some good food.
It's great, and it kind of got you back to doing your roots thing, where you got to produce a show. Basically.
Yeah, I will say, Todd, this community does not know me yet for my stage direction, but I was that's my training, and for over 25 years, I've directed many, many plays. So this is really fun to get back into. It's fun to work with local talent. And Denise Winter, who is the artistic and executive director at Key City Public Theater, wrote the script. So this is
very localized.
Really cool.
Really localized then. Yeah.
It's a really cool Olympic Peninsula production.
Okay. So tickets are still available. I'm just looking on here, $25.
Yeah.
That's pretty reasonable for a dinner theater.
Very reasonable. That doesn't include food. So food and drink are on top of that. But we made the tickets as low price as we could.
And that's what I wanted to get to, is that you kind of have an a la carte menu that's going with this. So it's kind of a little variation of what people might think of a dinner theater. You get to kind of pick and choose.
Inspired by some Elizabethan food. We didn't go full Ren Fair, but maybe next year. But I am looking for feedback, in terms of the summer and what's different about Field Hall in the summer. What can people do? We are creating social events more than anything else. So we have happy hours. This coming Friday, we are featuring Casey Fall and Glenn Gilliam as the artists who are doing 2 acoustic sets. And we have a happy hour menu before that, so come in for discounted food and drink and stay for music. We've had a karaoke competition that Amanda Bacon hosted that was very well attended, and people begged, let's do this again next year. So our first prize was $100 this year. We're going to look at trying to up the ante for next year, make it real fun.
Yeah.
And in the theater, we just had the Thompson Jazz Club last weekend, and that Thompson Club is also a dinner club. So the events that are social, you can mingle, you can dance, you can laugh, you can be together. It's a very different vibe than going in to sit in the theater for a couple hours.
I think it kind of fits well with summer, though. That's kind of the way people are, kind of loosey-goosey,
right?
For lack of a better term. And that's the sort of thing that drives us to do stuff.
And tons of things are not ticketed, or there's not a price to the ticket. You can come in last minute. We do have, for families, we thought it would be nice to use the theater. So we created brought in two shows. One is the Kif Kif Sisters. That's coming this Thursday. And that's a full family show. It's two twin women who are from Montreal. They are trained by the Cirque du Soleil folks, and they are circus clowns and acrobats and storytellers. And they're coming in to do a very funny show for kids. So it's about 65, 70-minute performance. Full-on family can come and enjoy it. And then we have Chautauqua on Sunday, which is also a circus arts type of performance that's good for the full family. They use puppets, play instruments, music, tell jokes. It's a kind of a variety show that is a circus variety show.
Tickets are still available for both of those.
Tickets are available for both. And what we're doing for this is they are pay what makes you happy. It's our pay what makes you happy model. So if you are struggling and you want to have entertainment, and you can start at zero, if you know that you have additional funds and you can support the folks who are coming in, we ask people, pay what makes you happy. If you know that the dollars and you can spend $100 a ticket, that is helping Field Hall bring these kinds of events. If you could pay $5, whatever makes you happy makes us happy. So we're trying to make it work. And this is the happy summer theme. We're just trying to continue.
We talked about this last
happy
time.
Hour and happy tickets.
Right.
And people have been happy. I would say if you haven't been at Field Hall yet this summer, you want to be happy, just come on down and be happy.
Yeah, use Gino, the new Mariner, return Mariner. All good vibes,
yeah,
as he's been saying on the field.
Right.
You've also got open mics still going on and some other things too. What about shows? Beyond this, I know that you've kind of broke out here, and I don't know how much you want to go too far ahead, but let's talk about some bigger things coming.
Yeah. We released the entire fall and early winter season. There's a number of bigger shows. We have National Geographic Live coming back. We have an incredible virtuosic pianist named Charlie Albright. He does contemporary pop music to classical to just improvisations.
He's incredible.
Sometimes he'll just take suggestions from the audience. What do you want to hear? And riff off things right away. So it's a pretty mind-blowing show. He came in spring last year with I must have gotten 100 requests to get him back. So that's why he's our season opener this year. We're doing some fun things with movies this fall. We're doing a string of rock-inspired movies. We're actually partnering with Anime Cat for School of Rock and having a Guitar Hero competition before the movie in the Sunset Lounge. So that's a way to come in and show your Guitar Hero skills and win some prizes, and then see the movie School of Rock. Then we're moving on to having the Banff Film Festival. This is a pretty big deal. This is very difficult to get selected into the Banff Films. They curate short films that are all adventure, outdoorsy films. The new company Citizen Air is providing some sponsorship support for this. So we have what they call the Road Warrior, and the Road Warrior comes and introduces the films and is an employee of Banff. And we will see 2 nights of pretty awesome events. And it's also one of the days is when the Big Hurt happens. Oh. So we're working with
tie in there, yeah.
Big Hurt. We want to do some sort of fundraising for outdoor adventure groups in the area who will be tabling and be in the theater as well. For those people who are fans of Hawaii, that's a great place to get to and not so difficult from here, or Hawaiian music and culture. We have 2 shows. One is the Masters of Hawaiian Music. That's in September. And then a little bit later, we have Kenny Endo, who does taiko drumming he's Japanese Hawaiian. So he brings Japanese culture, marries it with Hawaiian. And those are some Pacific Rim stuff that we're bringing in.
You got to back up just a little bit, because there's one name that is coming with that group, Masters of Hawaiian Music, that people might gravitate towards.
Let's hear it.
They may have heard of someone named Tia Carrera.
That's right.
And so she's actually going to be in Port Angeles. Is
That's
that right?
All
right.
I mean, when we say Masters, we've got the best.
Yeah. Well, obviously in Wayne's World showed guitar skills, so why not? Right?
That is so true.
I think that's terrific. So so come to that, and Daniel Ho is part of that group as well.
Yeah.
That's as in the Don Ho Ho's, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. So there's some interesting folks that are part of that group.
And speaking of people who are traveling here, we have Jesse Roper coming back.
That's right.
Which was, this is a thing where when we release Jesse Roper tickets, they are gone before you have a chance to get them. So they're headed that direction. Over 50% sold, and we've only had
about a week,
tickets
right?
for sale less than a week.
Yeah.
Less than a week now. So we're doing 2 concerts, and it's this real trending thing to do these candlelight concerts. So it's Jesse solo, and for the evening show, we are building about 1,000 to 1,200 candles around him on stage.
Oh my gosh.
They will be LED candles, so it's not because that would be a lot of heat.
Because they could get a little warm, right?
Yeah. So we're putting those candles up. Everybody who comes to that show will actually get their own votive, and we'll have an audience hold up their candles as well.
Okay.
So it'll be a beautiful show, that evening show, and that's in partnership with the One DeFuca Festival, so or Foundation for the Arts. So that's JFFA and Field Hall presents that In Harmony show.
And that's September 20th, by the way.
Yeah.
For folks go. But you probably better just get over and get tickets now if you want to go. Extremely popular. By the end of the week, it may be done.
Well, I hear all the time somebody said, I want to sit in my favorite seat, and it's always gone by the time I get there. So just purchase your tickets now to get your favorite seat. Although there really is no bad seat in the house, but we do have our favorites.
Now, my band has decided we may take a field trip to the next on your list of films that are coming up. Because you've got This Is Spinal Tap.
That's
You're going
right.
to play on the big screen in there.
In the big screen.
Which is in homage to the fact that the actual sequel is coming out.
Right.
So I think that's a little bit of a timing here.
We kind of thought, hey, people are not going, some people didn't see the original, and so they've got to see that before the 40th anniversary edition comes out and the sequel. So we have the original This Is Spinal Tap, which I could watch that.
Will
it's one of these
will
things
it go to 11?
Watch it
that
all
night?
the time. And that night, we are going to turn it to 11.
There you go. Very good. Other things coming up, though. You've got a busy fall.
We're focused on comedy this year. So there's a number of things. We're really excited to be accepted into the Seattle Comedy Competition. So we have 3 judges: Susie Ames of the college, Dan Morrison of Extreme Sports Park, and we also have Steve Methner, who's a well-known comic actor in town. They all have very good comic and competition chops, and so they are going to be the judges to select who's going to move on. So this is like a bracketed thing throughout the state of Washington, and the final show is in Seattle, so it farms out across the state, and this is the Friday after Thanksgiving is the Seattle Comedy Competition.
Okay, nice. Now, how does one get into that? Do you have to sign up, audition in? What's the...
They provide, the Seattle Comedy Competition is its own organization.
Right.
I think they already have the comics.
Okay,
at
you're
this
providing
point.
the venue and
we provide
judging
the
on it.
venue and judges. It is curated by the Seattle Comedy Competition.
Okay, but it's a chance to see some up and comers.
Yeah.
That's the fun part about
That
it.
is true. Along with, I want to talk about theater since it is my passion. Shakespeare Cabaret, lots of fun coming up. But beyond that, when we get into the full season, there is another Peninsula-based artist who I ran across in downtown Manhattan, New York City. And he just was telling all of these stories in his show about Seattle and growing up and incorporating some Peninsula into that. And so I said, hey, do you know about this new Performing Arts Center? I know you live in New York. And he turned around and said, I don't live in New York. I live right outside of Quilcene. So he has an incredible show called The Things Around Us. His name is Aham, and Aham is a jazz trumpet player, but also a playwright and performer and comedian. So The Things Around Us is October 16th as another theater event. And then this is the second year partnering with the Story People for Ghost Stories around Halloween. So on October 23rd Ingrid Nixon is hosting Ghost Stories. And last year it was Headbone Rattles, and we had some spooky stories. Very fun event, very spooky stories. And then we'll take you all to other parts of the world. We have a dance company from Taiwan coming. They are one of the top global contemporary dance companies. Very, very inspiring work, pushing sort of Asian vernacular through their movement in a contemporary way. The piece is called Birdie, and they use feathers and create lots of visual creations of flight on stage. And then we take you to Spain. There's something called Spanish Nights with Pablo Sanz Villegas. We will do our Spanish food and tapas and sangria and bring you classical Spanish guitar on Sunday, October 26th. Now, Todd, a lot of people, especially when it gets darker, they say we prefer matinees. We want to get there before it gets too late, dark, or even icy. So there's a number of Sunday matinees, either at 1 p.m. or 4 p.m., and people can also stay for dinner afterwards if they would like.
So you're busy. We've got lots more we'll talk about next time we get you in as we get further into the season as well. But go ahead. Yeah.
And I also want to remind you that, it's not just about bringing in artists from Spain and Taiwan. For Halloween night, we have the Halloween Mega Party, which includes Ant Bath, the Mort Krim All-Stars, and Lucky Brown and the SGs. So we have three local bands
going at it for Halloween night.
This is like wear your costume and come and party down.
What a bash.
Yeah, it's a family-friendly party as well.
Exactly. Lots going on, Steve, as always. Good luck with your plays coming up next week. Still room to get in with those as well. And I just tell people to go to fieldhallevents.org and just bop right on over to the ticket side, and you get the whole list of all of these things and more. We just touched on the kind of the surface of all of the stuff that's going on all the time over at Field Hall. It's happening place.
Enjoy, pay what makes you happy, and choose your own price of a ticket, or for those ticketed specific events, get those. And I'd love to hear your feedback on dinner clubs and jazz club and the Shakespeare Cabaret, and see if that's what we should be doing during the summer.
All right. Steve Rader Ginsburg, he is the executive director at Field Hall, and always great to talk to you. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Todd.
All right, we're going to take a break. Be back with more in just a moment.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP.
I understand that as our world becomes more automated, receiving personalized service from a real person is more meaningful than ever. I'm Dan Shappy, and as a farmer's agent, I know a thing or two about how to help you select the insurance you want so you can
protect what matters most.
Call 360-681-0696 to learn more and chat with me, a real person and experienced farmer's agent, today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Hi, I'm Terry Barrett.
I am Nick Barrett.
We invite you to join Project Safer's annual one-day event at the Clallam County Fairgrounds on August 14th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Register now and receive free fair entrance tickets for everyone in your group. In Clallam County, Project Safer is working to improve emergency responses for individuals who experience intellectual and developmental disabilities. By sharing personalized information about communication needs and approach preferences, Project Safer helps first responders provide safer, more effective interactions for everyone involved.
This is Police Chief Brian Smith inviting you to join law enforcement and fellow first responders for the annual Project Safer event. Our goal is for law enforcement and first responders to have complete information when encountering community members who have experienced intellectual or developmental disabilities. Come to the Clallam County Fair on Thursday, August 14th and register with Safer.
Register now and receive free fair entrance for everyone in your group. Go to ClallamCountyWA.gov and search Project Safer.
Hello, summer. The Wanda Fuqua Foundation for the Arts free summer concerts on the Pier is back. Join us for some of music's brightest performers in a setting unlike anywhere else. From big band to rock, folk and soul, with some local favorites rounding out the series. New this year to summer concerts on the Pier, a beer and wine garden will help keep you cool as the music. The summer concerts on the Pier, every Wednesday night at the PA Pier. Go to jffa.org for all the details.
Price Ford has red, white, and blue Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs ready to roll during the Ford for America sales event. Give 0% APR, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days. If that's not enough, receive a 2-year complimentary maintenance plan on select Ford models. Come see Price Ford and take advantage of the 0% finance, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days during the Ford for America sales event. Price Ford, next to Walmart, always right on the price.
Get more out of every job with Bobcat equipment from Brim and Carlsberg. From grading and digging to loading and hauling, Bobcat loaders are built to help you do more with unbeatable control and comfort. Right now, get financing as low as 0% APR or choose cash rebates up to $9,000 on select compact track loader models. Visit Brim and Carlsberg today to take advantage of these limited time offers. Some restrictions apply, length of contract and rate may vary. Offer ends August 31st, 2025.
Welcome back to the show. The Pope welcoming digital missionaries to the Vatican recently. ABC's Brad Milkey explains.
Jesus told his followers, cast your nets. Maybe he should have said, your internets. Yesterday, the new Catholic Pope, Pope Leo XIV, made a special appearance at St. Peter's Basilica, where the Vatican had invited, wait for it, influencers, Catholic digital natives who post content on TikTok and Instagram. Leo was greeted like a rock star, and he seemed into it. He shook hands along the aisles where all these content creators had gathered, phones out, of course, and yes, he posed for selfies. It's become apparent recently that under Leo, the Vatican plans to lean into the digital ecosystem. He's consistently talking about AI, and this event was part of a week-long conference in Rome dedicated to so-called digital missionaries, and there are lots of them.
Just having you guys, Father Vinny here. We're here in Vatican City.
This is Vince Carrasco from Texas wearing his full capuchin robes. He's a monk, but he's also a musician and a podcast host who's embraced social media. Another attendee from Portugal, Guilherme Peixoto, became famous as a priest/DJ. What's interesting is, to lots of other Christian denominations, this is quaint stuff. Many evangelical churches, in particular, have been harnessing the power of video content for decades. They're quick to hop on trends. Their social media teams know the current TikTok dance. Folks at the Vatican are attempting to catch up. The numbers aren't quite there, but they're trying. A seminarian named Bernardo has been giving behind-the-scenes tours.
So in our seminary, we have a dog. His name is Theo, and his birthday is this week.
So what was Pope Leo's advice? Well, he said, it's good to share your faith. That's what we do. It's good to share stuff about yourself, as long as it's authentic.
This is a challenge that we must face, reflecting on the authenticity of our witness, on our ability to listen and speak.
Listening, he said, is going to be the key. This is not about building a brand. This is not about making money. Whatever your medium of choice, real social networks are about true connection.
We have a duty to work together, to develop a way of thinking, to develop a language of our time that gives voice to love.
In fact, at another event, a Jesuit priest paused his presentation and challenged people in the room to turn and speak to the person next to them for 10 minutes at a time, which to many digital natives in this moment might feel like purgatory.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP.
And finally this afternoon, we return with Brad Milkey from ABC's Start Here podcast on the premiere of Cat Video Fest.
Celebrating 80 years of trusted news and local connections. This is Newsradio KONP Port Angeles Squim, a Radio Pacific station.
Todd Ortloff now with a word for Olympic Peninsula title. They don't just have customers, they have raving fans. Yeah, for over 40 years, they've been earning the repeat business of their customers by treating them with respect, delivering what they promise, prioritizing the security of customers' funds and information, and always providing service with a smile. When it's time to choose a title company to close your transaction, opt for Olympic Peninsula Title and see for yourself why they've earned over 500 five-star reviews and they've been voted best title company in Clallam County over and over again.
Don't miss Unity of Effort, Saturday, August 9th, one of the biggest and best events on the peninsula. Unity of Effort is a free community celebration honoring those who protect our way of life, presented by Security Services Northwest.
Hello, this is Joe D'Amico from Security Services Northwest. My team and I are excited to invite you and your family to this year's Unity of Effort. We're proud to create this annual event to honor our first responders who protect our way of life.
Unity of Effort features delicious food and amazing live performances throughout the day by 5 bands, including legendary 90s rock band Firehouse. Firehouse has been rocking all over the world and has produced gold, platinum, and multi-platinum records, selling over 7 million records worldwide. Catch them live Saturday, August 9th during the Unity of Effort event at Security Services Northwest headquarters and Squim. Go to unityofeffort.org.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is time for our monthly chat with the Executive Director of the North Olympic History Center, David Brownell, joins us, and lots going on. Busy time for everybody, including your group. So, Dave, good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
So let's talk County Fair, I guess, is your next thing up, right?
Yep, we've got the County Fair coming up August 14th to 17th. Folks can find us. We're in our big spot where we usually are, right there by the grandstands, right by the entrance to the grandstands. We will have our Edis gigantus sea monster out for folks to come take pictures with. We're also going to have Vern Frickham, who's the local George Washington Speaks. He's going to be there and helping us spread the word on America 250 planning efforts. And then we'll have our usual books and T-shirts and all that good stuff for sale. So please stop by if you're out there.
George Washington is worth the price of admission. He's great.
He is.
I'm telling you, he's great.
He's great, especially for kids. He's got more George Washington facts than you would think there are to know. There's so much trivia there.
We're getting him on this show here in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, great.
I believe.
Awesome.
Because it's always fun. Although it's not quite as good because you got to have the visual with it because he looks like George Washington.
He's got it nailed down. That's for sure.
All right. And so there's another outreach. I know this has been a big part. You're trying to get out there in the community a lot more and get people to realize, hey, this is this is a resource here we have. That
we had a blast. We're out at Joyce Days Festival this Saturday, which was a great time. It was actually nice because it was kind of overcast for the first 3 hours, so we didn't bake like we thought we were going to. But yeah, had a really fun day out there. Sold lots of books and T-shirts and connected with folks. So really just trying to get the word out on all the work we're up to and how people can connect with our resources and what we've got going on.
And of course, with the fair, there's a little tandem with that as well because that's an historical event as well. I mean, we've talked about this in the last year about this fair's been around for a long time and kind of last of a dying breed.
And that's part of our fair booth is we actually have a banner that has a timeline and some of the tidbits of fair history going back. And it's interesting to note that, today's county fair is really just a fraction of size of some of the ones that occurred 50, 60 years ago when there was horse racing. I think we've talked about this because, and it's steadily growing back to there. But, I think people always assume that things we're doing today are bigger than ever. And it's the fair's been a pretty big deal for a long, long time.
All right. It's also kind of the apex moment of summer, I always say around here.
Yeah.
It's kind of now we're downhill.
And the apex of cuisine. I know we've talked about this before, too. Give me some raspberry scones. That's I'm all about it.
Very good. Now, after the fair, you've got a big fundraiser coming up.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
So the Friday after the fair, August 22nd, we're having our History at the Hub night down here at the Hub at the corner of Lincoln and Front.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I always get front and first mixed up.
It's all right.
2 F streets in a row is too much. So there, the old Matthews Glass building where the hub is. So from 4 to 8 on August 22nd, which is a Friday, we're going to have live music. Levi from Angela's Tap Room will be there with some drinks. We're going to have snacks and food out. And the goal, again, is, just to raise funds for the North Olympic History Center. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. We depend almost entirely on private donations to do the work that we do. It's not just asking people for their money with nothing in return. So we've got some cool things going on. We have a silent auction, which is going to have a mix of some more interesting utilitarian, like a quart of firewood delivered to your house, sort of some of those sort of things. But then we've also got some really cool things that have been donated over the years, specifically intended for us to sell or auction off to support the center. So we've got, as an example, a silk Japanese kimono that's it's beautiful. I think it's originally from the 1970s, in great condition. We have another silk sash that also goes on a kimono. We have some beautiful jewelry. So we're getting photos and all of that stuff together, and we'll have all of that out. We'll also, in the silent auction, different services, as well as tickets for some of our programs, like our history hikes that are normally, $45 to $60 a ticket. So definitely come check that out. We're also going to have, what I'm really excited about, in our collections at the North Olympic History Center, we have hundreds of these wooden blocks that were the block prints used for historic newspapers and printers around town. Some of these go back close to 100 years. And what's really cool is some of these are some of the classic vintage artwork that you remember from old newspapers and magazines, from like the fly fishing guy, with we have that guy. And then what's really cool locally is we have a lot of these block prints that were used for advertising for businesses that are no longer around. So think Hagwoods and restaurants that haven't been around 20, 30 years, some of those businesses. So what we're going to do is folks can make their own block prints. We'll have some little workstations set up with helpers so folks can learn how to do that. I know, some folks don't like getting covered in ink. It is water-soluble ink, but it's block printing. You're going to get ink on you. If you don't want to do that, you are totally welcome to just buy. We're going to have some there for purchase as well. And we're going to have some other sort of get your hands onto history of events and activities, some booths with information about what we do. Also have a booth for folks to sign up for memberships if they want to be a member.
What a fun evening.
Yeah.
I mean, you get tickets for this? What's the process on this?
It's open to anybody who wants to come. We're going to try and aim to have things for all ages.
Okay.
But yeah, there's no ticket fee, no charge to get in. The fundraising is entirely based off of donations and then what people want to give in terms of the silent auction and our activities that we have planned.
All right, give us the rundown again. Date, time, all of it.
Friday, August 22nd, 4 to 8 p.m. at the Hub at the corner of Lincoln and Front Street.
Right.
Yes.
And spoken like a true historian, you referenced the former St. Matthew's Glass
building,
which I think most of us old timers
And before Matthew's Glass, it was the auto
That's
dealership
right.
and repair shop, which we've got some really cool pictures of too, which we'll have out at the event.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll be pretty fun. Now, that's not the end of it. You have a ton of events that are going on, and I think you kind of repick things up again as fall gets here, right?
Yeah, and actually, you kind of hit the nail on the head. We're actually rescheduling our August 24th History Tales presentation because I realized because I was going to be me, and I realized that trying to do a history presentation a day and a half after our big fundraiser was probably biting off a little more than I can chew. So I'm still figuring out what date. That'll probably fall back into late October, early November. We'll move that back. We do have our final history hike of the year is coming up on September 20th, which is our history hike to Clink Bridge, which is an old bridge site up the Dungeness River, about 2 or 3 river miles up above the Dungeness Fish Hatchery, and is a very, very cool place. Both just in a more recent historic sense of the pattern of human settlement and movement across the North Olympic landscape from the late 1800s to the present, but then also in considering the broader environmental and human history of the North Olympic Peninsula going back thousands of years, because you've got essentially it's a place where the Dungeness River is broken through this basalt ridge. And so it essentially funnels the river down into one little area, and the Dungeness River is a very energetic river, so it's always moving. So it's blown out this hole that even in the dry season, which, in Sequim is pretty significant, if you go there in September, there's still 10 feet of water in this hole. So there's few places. So in terms of it's important, not just for humans, but for animals. You go down there on a day when the water's clear, it's like looking into an aquarium. There's trout, there's salmon fry, there's sculpins, there's all of these cool fish swimming around. So that'll be a really fun day. You can find out more information about that history hike on our website. Tickets are actually sold through the Jefferson County Historical Society. So if you search for jchsmuseum.org or Jefferson County Historical Society and go to their little programs tab, that's where you purchase tickets for that. And then on September 27th, we have our final Learning Our Landscape presentation series of the year at the Jamestown Tribal Library in Blinn. So September 27th, I believe that's a Sunday. The presentation will be at 2 p.m. If it's not a Sunday, it's a Saturday. Either way, it's at 2 p.m. And we're going to be talking about the archaeological excavations we did down at the Jamestown Tribe's Veterans Memorial back in 2018, which is right behind the tribe's admin building. If you're familiar with the tribe's administration center in Blinn and the dental clinic, it's just to the east of those, just to the east of the playground. Started construction on the Veterans Memorial in 2018. Almost immediately found evidence of a shell midden archaeological site. I excavated that site with the assistance of some tribal citizens from Jamestown, and what we found, we got radiocarbon dates that go back 1,100 years before present. And we named it the Jamestown Picnic Site because it's literally a rock throw about 40 feet away from where the Jamestown tribe does their annual tribal picnic, where they do the exact same type of cooking that we find evidence of 1,000 years old.
It's kind of crazy, so it just kind of continues.
It just continues, and it's kind of cool to think about those different onion layers of history sort of stacking up. So, and again, that's in the Jamestown Tribal Library, where they've got these amazing exhibits that include some of the artifacts that we actually recovered from those excavations. So after I talk about the artifacts, folks can walk in and actually see them in person, which is really cool.
Very neat. That's a neat library down there too, by the way. If people haven't seen it, go down and check it out.
It's worth a stop off the highway, for sure.
Yeah. Yep. So, other events coming up later on, you want to maybe give us a tease?
Sure. Then in October 19th, we have a History Tales presentation by Melissa Slager, who's the author of Contest of Strength, which is a book that we've been selling at our booth this year. If folks are interested, stop by our booth at the county fair. Melissa Slager, she's local. She lives in Everett. And she's written this historical novel that's based around that 1700 tsunami and earthquake from the perspectives of one of the villages out here on the coast of the Olympic Peninsula. And so she's going to be doing her presentation on October 19th about her research for that book. And that History Tales presentation will be at the Black Diamond Community Center here in Port Angeles at 2 p.m.
All right. You've got all this listed on your website. That's a good place to go. Plus, you can search all of this cool stuff on there. I know we've talked about this in the past, but your website has access to a tremendous and growing digital library of things.
And we've actually, so we've got and you can go through our website, northolympichistory.org, and there's a tab that will take you to our collections, or you can just type in nohc.catalogaccess.com. That'll take you to our online catalog. We're still adding, dozens to hundreds of items every month. One thing that we've also started doing recently on our website is also adding in stories by John Kendall, who's a local author who writes stories for the Senior Sunset Times that feature different stories about local history. So John has graciously shared those with us, and so we're starting to upload those as well to our online site so that folks can go on and read those too. Check back in regularly because there's always going to be new stuff popping up.
I've said this before, too. We have a rich history here. I think people don't realize that somewhat. And I think even if you're new to the area, this is great to get to know what this place is all about.
Absolutely. And, there's so many different aspects of history that we can dive into. And it's always tough for me because people say, well, what's your favorite thing in the collection? And I always just go cross-eyed. I'm like, that's an impossible question for it. We've got everything from a mastodon femur to stamps to ceramics to newspaper. We just got 4 pallets of newspapers from Carpenter Media. So basically Carpenter Media bought Sound Publishing, which is PDN. And they're selling some of their holdings around the area, which includes the warehouse where a lot of the bound volumes are kept. So we just picked up 2 weeks ago 4 pallets. And when I mean a pallet, I mean a literal a pallet stacked, 5 feet high with bound volumes of Peninsula Daily News, Port Angeles Evening News going back to the 19-teens, Squim Gazette, Jimmy Come Lately Gazette, as well as all of the special, the advertising editions and the Who's Who's, all of those in bound volumes. So right now that's currently sitting on a massive table covered in sheets until I figure out where to put it all.
How do you handle that? That's a lot of stuff.
It's honestly, it's a little overwhelming. We just 2 weeks ago had our summer work week where we spent a week. The big thing was replacing shelving. Our old shelving is just painted OSB. And so what we've been doing is replacing it with a material called Medite, which is essentially a museum quality particle board, but it doesn't off gas. It doesn't have formaldehyde or as much formaldehyde and some of those nasty things that OSB has. And so in terms of long range planning for collection storage, like what we do, we want things to be okay for 50, 75, 100 years. So we've been replacing all of that shelving, and while we're doing that, we've been adjusting shelving heights and trying to save as much lost space as possible because we're up to our ears in things. And so, that whole plan was done so that we would actually have everything sort of reorganized, have a better idea of where everything is. We've been taking photos and inventorying everything as we go. Then we had 4 pallets of newspapers given to us while we were doing that. So we've made really good progress with reorganizing our collections and our objects, but I'm still kind of in a tizzy about these newspapers and figuring out where we're going to put them. But we've got to take them. Somebody's got to take them.
And it's a great find. I mean, I call it a find, a great gift, because that's history. That's the printed history of this area. Right?
And in the most literal sense, the newspapers serve as the public record. I mean, that's where if there's an estate that has to get posted in the newspaper, if there's a legal proceeding that has to get posted in the newspaper, those newspapers are for a lot of people, and a lot of times that's the only record that we have going back 100 years of some of these things. If that's lost, that record is also lost.
So you better figure out how you're going to do something.
We're going to figure it out. We're going to. They might sit on that table for a few months until I can figure out a shelving situation, but. We have to take them. It's not a choice. And I know that in the future they will be put to very good use.
I'm sure they will. You've done a great job with all of the things that come through there. I use this affectionately. It's a hodgepodge of stuff. I mean, that's the joy of a local museum. Stuff just kind of shows up.
I always joke there's a fine line between hoarders and history enthusiasts, and we tread that line very carefully. But yeah, we've got, and I would encourage anybody who hasn't been to the History Center, you can find our contact information on our website, online. Please reach out. I'm happy to set up and give tours of our collections building to folks. We had an open house a few weeks ago that went really good and had a few dozen people come through. And I think, just from experience, when I give people those tours, I think it's very eye-opening for them to realize the depth of our collections, and there's so much of our work that we do that goes unseen by the general public, right? And so it's really cathartic for me to be able to take people through that building and show them all of these things that we're doing, and they're like, oh, wow, you guys are really up to something. Yeah.
Dave, it's always great to talk to you. We'll do it next month.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'll probably see you out at the fair in between anyway.
Absolutely.
So, all right.
Yeah.
David Brownell there. He is the executive director of the North Olympic History Center. Do check out their website. And if you do get a chance, set up a tour, because there's some really cool stuff out in there.
And I forgot, our exhibit is still up at the library through August 30th. So if you haven't had a chance,
that's a good one, too.
Yeah,
that's
please check it out.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Todd.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on Newsradio KONP.
I understand that as our world becomes more automated, receiving personalized service from a real person is more meaningful than ever. I'm Dan Shappy, and as a farmer's agent, I know a thing or two about how to help you select the insurance you want so you can
protect what matters most.
Call 360-681-0696 to learn more and chat with me, a real person and experienced farmer's agent, today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Do you know when your septic system was last inspected?
Clallam County Environmental Health keeps those records and can tell you. Pumping your septic and complete septic inspections by licensed professionals are two very different things. State law requires inspections every 1 to 3 years, depending on the system you have. Get more information about your septic system and inspection requirements by calling Clallam County Environmental Health 360-417-2258 or by logging on to clallam.net/septic.
Dr. Sam Skovgard here, General Surgeon at Olympic Medical Center. If you've noticed a bulge beneath your skin, on your abdomen or groin, it could be a hernia. And if it's causing you pain, it's time to talk to your doctor. If your hernia requires surgery, your general surgery team at OMC is here to help. Talk to your primary care provider if you think you may need treatment for a hernia. Let's keep you healthy and hernia-free together. Learn more at olympicmedical.org/hernia.
This month at Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales in Sequim, pick up an SW21 skid steer and get a 16-foot car hauler free. That's nearly $5,600 back in your pocket. Need more muscle? The SW28 skid steer comes with an 18-foot car hauler, free, over $6,000 in savings. And for the big jobs, the ST45 track loader includes a 20-foot dovetail equipment trailer, free. Almost $7,700 of value. Built tough, priced right. Only this month at Leeds Farm Supply and Equipment Sales in Sequim.
Hello, Clallam County. Tri-State's opening their new showroom in Sequim by appointment only, offering roofing, Pella windows, siding, patio covers, and doors. To schedule an appointment, please call 360-208-2222 or visit tristate.pro. Thank you for putting your trust in Tri-State Roofing. We got you covered.
Tri-State Roofing, we got you covered.
Zany stunts, silly science, and sparkling humor. Jam Side Up by the Kif Kif Sisters is a summertime treat for the whole family. Catch the acclaimed sister act live at Field Hall on Thursday, August 7th at 6:30 p.m. The Kif Kif Sisters will bring circus magic and side-splitting laughs to Port Angeles for one night only. Get your seats today at fieldhallevents.org/tickets.
This afternoon, we return with Brad Milkey from ABC's Start Here podcast on the premiere of Cat Video Fest.
Was this the movie of the summer? It's plausible. This weekend, hundreds of independent movie theaters around the country screened a film that sounds like something out of my YouTube viewing history. It's 73 straight minutes of cat videos.
I watch between 12 and 13,000 cat videos every year.
This is Will Braden, the director and producer of Cat Video Fest. For the last several years, he's been making G-rated compilations of cats being, well, everything cats are. Cuddly, cunning, and at times, clueless. My personal favorite from Will's trailer this year is a trio of kittens playing on a DJ turntable and making music that's catastrophic. Will runs this for charity. So far in its history, Cat Video Fest has raised over $1 million for cat-related causes, but he's also all about the camaraderie.
There are a lot of people who are just, think of cat videos and watching it as kind of a solitary thing, or maybe even embarrassing, shockingly. And then when you get to a show and you're just around hundreds of other people enjoying it joyously, and you just think, oh, these are my people.
After all, cat videos are often used as shorthand for what's dumb about the internet. We talk about people sitting around watching cat videos. Well, perhaps that definition, he says, should be expanded.
A lot of what people think are the traditional cat videos, like the sort of America's Funniest Home Videos, silly stuff. But there's also, animated things, there's music videos, there's little mini documentaries about rescue cats.
But there's still the question, what is it about cat videos specifically that just seems to transfix the internet and now our movie theater audiences? Like, why not dog videos? He says he tried that once and that didn't get the same universal response.
First of all, if you see a cat try to jump on a counter and it slips and falls, you laugh. If a puppy does it, you go, oh my gosh, is the puppy okay?
Cats, it turns out, are the perfect movie star. They act like they got it all together, but really underneath, they're just trying to figure out how laser beams work, like the rest of us. They're hunters, but they're also skittish. They'll rub against your legs one moment and scratch you the next. They're the hero and the anti-hero. Perhaps that's why this festival has expanded from the US and Canada now to the UK, Denmark, France, Brazil, and Australia. Cats are all of us, and we are all the cats. At least, that was the sentiment this weekend of those who were persuaded to go to the theater.
We don't want people to be ashamed of their love for cat videos.
This is the Todd Ortloff Show on News Radio KONP.
Hi, I'm Terry Barrett.
I am Nick Barrett.
We invite you to join Project Safer's annual one-day event at the Clallam County Fairgrounds on August 14th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Register now and receive free fair entrance tickets for everyone in your group. In Clallam County, Project Safer is working to improve emergency responses for individuals who experience intellectual and developmental disabilities. By sharing personalized information about communication needs and approach preferences, Project Safer helps first responders provide safer, more effective interactions for everyone involved.
This is Police Chief Brian Smith inviting you to join law enforcement and fellow first responders for the annual Project Safer event. Our goal is for law enforcement and first responders to have complete information when encountering community members who have experienced intellectual or developmental disabilities. Come to the Clallam County Fair on Thursday, August 14th and register with Safer.
Register now and receive free fair entrance for everyone in your group. Go to clallamcountywa.gov and search Project Safer.
Clallam PUD is now offering rebates on the purchase of Energy Star washers and dryers. Energy Star certified appliances save energy and money as they meet strict energy efficiency specifications. The rebates will be applied as a credit to your utility bill. Visit clallampud.net for more information or to submit an application. You will need to provide your purchase receipt. Clallam PUD, bringing energy to life.
In conjunction with Sequim Valley Chapel and Harper Ridgeview Funeral Home, we're excited to announce the installation of 3 additional niche banks within the Veterans Circle at Mount Angeles Memorial Park in Port Angeles. Each bank has 48 niches, and each niche comfortably houses 1 to 2 sets of remains. We are proud to help serve veterans and their families by adding this additional memorial space to Mount Angeles Memorial Park. Peninsula Cemeteries, because endings matter.
Come see Permabuilt at the Clallam County Fair August 14th through the 17th in Port Angeles. Visit our booth to explore custom pole building options for your property. Whether you're looking for a garage, shop, barn, or storage building, we've got you covered. Our team will be there to answer questions and help you get started. Call 800-824-9552. That's 800-824-9552 or visit permabuilt.com to learn more.
Stop by Poway Treasure Trap. We're located in the front of Easy Pond in downtown Port Angeles. We have a fun selection of gifts to choose from. Everything from our best-selling leather journals to anime figures and fun pop culture gifts. We also have hard-to-find collectible swords for fantastic displays. And you've got to check out our adult humor section in our front mezzanine that's full of not safe for work gag gifts guaranteed to spark laughter. Easy Pond in downtown Port Angeles. News Radio KONP Port Angeles Sequim, serving the Olympic Peninsula now for 80 years. A Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News. Lindsay Davis, anchor Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. Texas State Democrats no shows at the state capitol in Austin, leaving Sunday to break the quorum for a special session and vote today on the Republican redrawn congressional maps that give the GOP 5 seats ahead of midterm election. Democrats call that gerrymandering. About 50 Texas Democrats traveled to Democratic-led states after leaving the Texas capitol. Texas Governor Greg Abbott vowed to fine the state Democrats and possibly arrest them. ABC's Maria Villarreal is in Austin.
They are saying they are going to go after the Dems that have left the state and broken quorum. At this point, what they've done is issued a civil warrant for their arrest. Basically, he can use the power of what Texas has to hold, which is more than likely, troopers, to help him locate some of the Dems that are either here in the state or have fled out of Texas to try and break quorum.
California's governor says his state will also move to redraw congressional maps if Texas goes forward with its plan. Israel's prime minister says talks on a ceasefire deal with Hamas have stalled and is moving to convene his cabinet to finalize a military solution to defeat Hamas and release the remaining hostages. It comes as Hamas released a video appearing to show an emaciated hostage and as aid groups warn of mass starvation. ABC News producer Dia Ostaz is in Gaza.
So in the last 24 hours, at least 5 people have died as a result of the famine and the starvation, bringing the death toll of the famine since the beginning of the conflict between Israel and Hamas into 180 died. At least 93 of them are children. And it's worth to mention that all of the segments of the population on the ground in the Gaza Strip are struggling and facing the starvation, especially the elderly and children.
In Montana, the search continues for a gunman who killed 4 people inside a bar at the town of Anaconda Friday. Police say the suspect is considered armed and dangerous. You're listening to ABC News.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com or CVS.
I'm Lindsay Davis. For the latest on today's headlines, be sure to watch Prime tonight, starting at 7 Eastern on ABC News Live. Now with more news, here's Michelle Franzen.
In New York City, the lobby of 345 Park Avenue reopened today. It comes 1 week after the mass shooting that left 4 dead in the Midtown high-rise. A person close to the family of the shooter, Shane Tamura, says the gunman had for years sought medical help for frequent, debilitating headaches. Police say 47 rounds were fired from a rifle. ABC's Aaron Katursky says police believe the shooter may have been targeting NFL headquarters.
The lobby's open, and Blackstone, which lost someone, Wesley LePatner, had people had the option to come back, but the NFL asked employees to stay away for another week. And we heard from NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell in the last few days to say that the league's going to go on just with a broken heart. And they're trying to make people feel safe and secure about going to work.
In California's Central Coast, hot and dry conditions fueling wildfires in the Los Padre Forest.
Huge plumes of smoke have towered above Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties. The Gifford fire has now burned over 65,000 acres since it started last week, burning in a mostly rural area. There are some evacuations, and now there's a new fire that's taken off in the mountains of San Bernardino County. Southern California is entering a week-long heat wave, and conditions are ripe for wildfires.
In Los Angeles, 2 people were killed, 6 others last night injured in a mass shooting at an unofficial after-party at a music festival. Michelle Franzen.
KONP News brought to you by RE/MAX Evergreen Real Estate. Outstanding agents, outstanding results. 457-6600. Peninsula College is launching a new local Bachelor of Applied Science in Teacher Education program this fall. They say to meet growing need for K-8 teachers in the region. It offers a direct path to state certification using hybrid evening courses, hands-on classroom training from year 1, and there's no wait list. PC's president, Susie Ames, says it'll help local students stay and serve in their communities as they move on in their careers. Drivers on Highway 101 near Sequim will notice smoother travel. Construction on the Johnson Creek Bridge is just about wrapped up, and White Feather Way has reopened after being closed for several months.
Here's your News Radio KONP forecast, brought to you by All Weather Heating and Cooling. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 65. Northwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Lows level off around 52. Tonight, overcast skies. Cloudy skies tomorrow. Chance of rain. High temperatures reach up to 62. Temperatures below average Wednesday and Thursday, with highs in the mid-60s. Scattered showers possible both days. Looking at the long range, 67 Friday, 70 Saturday, and 72 on Sunday. That's a look at your forecast. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Right now, 66.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, it's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, #1 best-selling author, and host of the brand new hit on the Ramsey Network called Front Row Seat. He's my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jack's in St. Louis. Hey, Jack, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Better than we deserve. What's up in your world?
Dave, I'm broke. I'm borrowing money from family to live. My wife and I both work for a school district. We work all the hours they'll work us. Every chance they get to do some extra jobs, we do it. I'm qualified for welfare now. I've got 2 adopted sons at home. We've adopted a lot of children through the years. Never made much money. And I've got a house that I owe about $120 on.
120. I'm sorry. I won't interrupt you. 120.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's it worth?
Yeah,
What's it worth?
It's worth about $189.
Okay.
Here's the problem. Every house that's for sale in our area costs more than what I owe on the house I've got now. So I could sell the house and break out with my equity and start over, but then I'm going to be right back in the position I'm in again. So I feel like I'm in a corner I can't get out of.
Okay, one thing I drove by there that I wanted to ask about, and I was almost interrupted you, and I apologize, was the
no problem.
You're both working full-time jobs, and somehow you still qualify for welfare?
For the food program, yes.
What's your combined income?
It's a little less than 35.
And you work for the school system?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. That's not even $7 an hour. You're not working 40 hours. Not 2 people.
Well, here's the catcher. She is a substitute teacher, but she works every time they call her.
Yeah, but that's not full-time.
We don't know what else to do.
Well, that's not a full-time job. That's sporadic at best.
Well, my contract is for a little bit less than 20, and then she makes the rest.
What do you do to make $20,000 for the school system?
I'm in transportation, and I drive 5 routes a day.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that, hon?
This will be my 6th year.
Okay. All right. What did you do before that?
I pastored churches and ran a bank. I actually ran a bank for 8 years. This is a world I'm not used to. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Okay.
Well, I do. Your job sucks. You need a different job. You make no money, sir. That's the problem. You guys you are living at the poverty level. I mean, with 2 kids and $35,000 because she's not working full time, and when you work, you're not getting paid anything. And so, dude, you can make more than you make working at Target 40 hours a week, putting boxes on shelves. Way more than you make.
Yeah.
And so your job just sucks. We've got to reset your career sights. You do, and we'll be happy to help you with that. But you have an income problem, not an outgo problem. And your house, and you're correct. I agree with your assessment. Your house sale will not fix this situation because it's
going to cost me $17,000 to sell it. Then I pay commission,
but
moving costs.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Doesn't matter. It doesn't fix the problem because you have an income that is not sustainable. You cannot live on it.
Yeah.
And so you have to reset your career.
Yeah, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I feel like I need to ask you this. If you were sitting across from somebody who used to go to the church you pastored, and they told you what you just told us, what would your advice to that person be?
Well, that's a good question. If it's
don't listen. You've already answered it.
Insanity is yes. As they say, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Correct.
So my advice would probably be what you just told me.
Yeah. So I think that there's been a series of things that have happened that have led you to this. We don't need to break all those things down. But if I could just encourage you to do what you believe, to do what you would tell someone else, and your wife needs to go get a real job today. I don't care if she's being a cashier at the local supermarket, but we're going to literally go, where are the open jobs that no teenager, most people don't want to go, but they're already going to make more money than what you guys are making. And you're going to have to get to the point where you say, I can do more things. If I can turn a wrench, if I'm handy, I'm going to start working on some construction crews. Because at this point, you guys have been making so little money, you have gotten to the point where you believe that's all you're worth.
Yeah, and you're not. That's not
It's
true.
just garbage. So, pastor, I would say, I'm going to use the word pastor on you. Get after it, man. Let's change our day. Let's change our week. Let's change our month by going and getting to work.
If you're working 40 hours, you're making $9.
Gracious.
And Target's paying 20.
Gracious.
I do have a separate issue here. I've got the two boys I adopted are autistic, and my wife has to stay with them at least some.
Yeah.
So
how old are they?
what she's doing as a substitute has allowed us to be able to take care of them.
What happens when she's substituting and you're driving?
Well, I get a few breaks during the day, but that's about it. We tag team.
How old are the boys?
15 and 11.
Are they going to require care their whole life?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you don't have a choice. You have to find a workaround.
Yeah. It's. I'm telling you, I'm in a predicament. I don't know what to do.
No, you do know what to do. You've got to get a different job, dude. It's very simple. It's a math problem. You are not making any money, and you have decided that this is the only possible thing for you, and that's so fatalistic and incorrect. So I don't care what you do. I don't care if you start a business. I don't care if you cut grass. Dude, if she starts cleaning toilets, she can make 4 times what she's making now, being somebody's maid.
Yeah.
People are paying $25 to $50 an hour for maids right now.
And take the boys with her, or she gets a customer service job where she's on the phone just doing a basic script. She could be making $12, $15 an hour easy from home.
But we have to get in the generating income mode rather than we are trapped mode. You are not trapped. You have the worst possible jobs, both of you, for this situation. Yeah. And so you've got to start going, what can I do to make some money? Because and that's not greed, that's survival. Because your house is not unreasonable, your life is not unreasonable, you're not a bunch of overspenders, you're not out of control.
No.
You just are broke. You just don't make any money, sir.
Yeah, there's a spirit over him. There's a spirit over you, Jack, and you know it.
That's just the I'm stuck spirit. I'm trapped. There's nothing I can do. You said it like 4 times, and it's just not true.
Right.
We're talking to a guy who's done things and can do things, and you've got to do something else in your situation. You cannot survive. And so, you're both of you are looking for jobs today, and you may be looking for jobs and upgrading jobs and jumping in and out of jobs for the next year to get your income up $20, $30, $40 an hour. And let's get after it. Go get you a lawnmower, man. Get you a pressure washer. Do something. You can make a lot more money than you're making right now. Homebuyer Edge from Churchill Mortgage helps you beat out your home buying competition in 3 big ways. Pre-approval that positions you like a cash buyer, a $10,000 guarantee for the seller, and a secured rate for you for 90 days. Go to churchillmortgage.com to learn more.
This is a paid advertisement. Homebuyer Edge and Seller Guarantee are available for qualifying borrowers and select loan types only and are not available in all states or locations. NMLS ID 1591, NMLSConsumerAccess.org, Equal Housing Lender, 1749 Mallory Lane, Suite 100, Brentwood, Tennessee 37027.
Hey guys, Rachel Cruz here. All right, I'm about to say what everyone already knows. But budgeting is a good thing to do. But actually getting started, well, that's where people freeze up. And you guys, it doesn't have to be that way. With the EveryDollar budgeting app, getting started is super easy, and so is sticking to it. You can set up your first budget in less time than it takes to go through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru. It's really fast. And the best part, EveryDollar helps you see exactly what's happening with your money. You know what's coming in, what's going out, and what's left over for fun. Because let's be real, you need some fun in your budget. Plus, with unlimited budget categories, you can customize it to fit your life. grocery runs, coffee runs, or even planning your next family trip. Whatever you have going on, every dollar keeps budgeting simple and stress-free, just the way you want it. So go download the app for free and get started today. Again, go download Every Dollar.
From tariff questions to tighter cash flow, business as usual is anything but usual these days. But NetSuite by Oracle tames the chaos by giving you full visibility and removing guesswork. NetSuite brings your inventory, accounting, and more into one system for the control your business needs to make the right decisions fast. And right now, you can download NetSuite's free ebook, Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders, at netsuite.com/Ramsey.
Imagine being excited about Mondays. What if, instead of waking up depressed and discouraged, you were actually excited for work? Knowing your purpose is the key to escaping your meaningless 9 to 5, to increasing your income, and to finding work you love. That's why I created the Get Clear assessment, to help you discover what you do best, what work you love to do, and the results that fire you up, and jobs that would be a tremendous fit for you. After completing this quick assessment, you'll finally learn what truly drives you, so Mondays don't have to suck ever again. The assessment will help you create a purpose statement so you can discover countless ways to do meaningful work in your career. The truth is, nothing's going to change until you decide to take action. And don't just take it from me. With over 100 5-star reviews, people just like you are getting clear on what they were born to do and finding work that gives them purpose. To order your Get Clear assessment, go to RamseySolutions.com today.
Are you wondering where your money goes every month? You work too hard to be living paycheck to paycheck. It's time to get gazelle intense about making a change, and we want to help you build a future you can be excited about. Our all-time best-selling book, The Total Money Makeover, is going to help you take control of your money. You'll learn 7 organized, easy-to-follow steps that